The check is sitting on the kitchen table, made out to you, and your mother is sliding it across with both hands like she's been waiting all week to do it. $19,000. For the grandkids, she says. For the house. For whatever you need. It's the most generous thing anyone has done for you in years, and every part of it comes from love. Here's what nobody at that table knows. The moment that check leaves her hands, a 5-year clock starts running against her. Not with the IRS. The IRS is fine with this number. $19,000 is exactly the amount you're allowed to give. Tax-free, no forms, no questions. That's the trap, because Medicaid does not care what the IRS allows. And if your mother ever needs a nursing home inside the next 5 years, that same $19,000 can come back to your family as a bill for her care that Medicaid refuses to pay. I've sat with families holding the paperwork on both ends of this. So before you tell your mother to tear up the check or panic about one you already cashed, stay with me. This is understandable, it's common, and there are ways to give that don't do this. But first you have to see exactly how a gift turns into a bill. Let's place your family in this, because where you're standing changes everything. Picture your mother right now. Maybe she's 76 and healthy, still driving, still hosting Sunday dinner. She's not thinking about nursing homes. She's thinking about helping while she's here to see you enjoy it. That's the whole reason for the check. The gift isn't reckless, it's the opposite. It's a lifetime of taking care of you, doing it one more time. Now picture yourself 5 years from here. A fall, a stroke, a slow slide you saw coming and couldn't stop. She needs full-time care, the kind that runs about $9,500 a month. Nobody has that lying around, so you do what families do. You apply for Medicaid to cover it. And that is the moment the gift resurfaces. Because to approve her, the state is going to look back through 5 years of her financial life, and it is going to find that check. That's the two-body part of this. Your parent lives the generosity. You live the application. She hands over the gift with love and never thinks of it again. You're the one sitting across from a caseworker years later, watching that same love get counted against her. The gift and the bill are the same dollars. They just arrive at opposite ends of the worst year of your family's life. So here's what actually happens, in plain language, because once you see the machine, you can stay out of its way.
Widget be damned when your mother applies for long-term care Medicaid, the kind that pays for a nursing home. The state does something called a look-back.
In almost every state, it reaches back 60 months, 5 years. Every large transfer she made in that window gets examined, and any money she gave away, or anything she sold for less than it was worth, counts as what Medicaid calls a disqualifying transfer, a gift in plain English. Now here's the part that catches good families. Medicaid doesn't tax the gift, and it doesn't ask her to pay it back. It does something colder. It delays her coverage. It takes the total of everything she gave away, and it divides that by one number, the average cost of a month of nursing home care in her state. That number is called the penalty divisor. And whatever comes out of that division is the number of months Medicaid will simply refuse to pay for her care.
Saving kunta tum kia handle that's bending that of can the sing some tanting.
Say the divisor in her state is around $9,500, because that's what a month of care costs there. And say the only gift she made was that one check. $19,000 divided by $9,500 is 2 months. So Medicaid says she qualifies, but we will not pay for her first 2 months of care. 2 months at $9,500 a month is $19,000, the exact size of the gift. It didn't vanish. It came back as a bill with your name on it. At the one moment you have the least room to absorb it. That's why I keep saying the gift becomes the bill. It's almost dollar for dollar by design, and it stacks. If your mother gave $19,000 to one grandchild and $19,000 to another, that's $38,000 in the window, which is roughly 4 months with no coverage. The more generous she was, the longer the penalty runs. Generosity converted straight into delay at the worst possible time. And now the piece that makes people the angriest, quietly. You have heard your whole life that you can give $19,000 a year to anyone tax-free. That's true. It's the IRS annual gift exclusion, and in 2026 that number is $19,000 per person. But that rule lives in one building, and Medicaid lives in another, and they do not talk. The IRS limit has nothing to do with Medicaid, not a smaller effect, none. A gift that's perfectly invisible to the taxman is fully countable to Medicaid, every dollar of it, for 5 years. Families lean on that 19,000 number believing it's a safe harbor. For nursing home coverage, it is not a harbor at all.
Would it be damned von der Farm bekommt am Tublen von mind content?
California was the last big state that had stopped doing this look back. As of January 1st, 2026, California turned it back on. So if you were counting on living in the one state where the gift didn't follow her, that door just closed too. This is now effectively everywhere. Let me tell you about a family who learned this the expensive way, because their story is where it stops being math. Rose was 72, healthy and proud of it. Over 3 years, she did what a lot of loving grandmothers do. She wrote checks, $19,000 to one grandchild for a wedding, $19,000 to another for a first house, a few thousand here and there for tuition. Her accountant told her every gift was under the limit, and he was right about taxes. Nobody in that conversation was thinking about a nursing home, because Rose was fine. Then Rose wasn't fine. A bad fall, a hip that didn't heal, and within a year she needed skilled care full-time. Her son Paul sat down to apply for Medicaid, certain it would be routine. His mother had almost nothing left in the bank, precisely because she'd given so much away. He thought that made it simpler. It made it worse. The caseworker added up the gifts inside the 5-year window, divided by the state's number, and handed Paul a penalty. Almost 6 months where Medicaid would pay nothing. Nearly $60,000 of his mother's care, now his family's problem. Paul told me the part that stayed with him. It wasn't the money, though the money was brutal. It was that every one of those checks had been an act of love, and he was now being punished for his mother's generosity at the exact moment she was most helpless. There was no villain, no fraud. Just a kind woman, a real rule, and a family that never knew the two were on a collision course. Rose's gifts were legal, loving, and tax-free, and they still cost her family nearly $60,000. So let's make sure yours never do. This is the shield. The good news is that this is one of the most preventable traps in all of elder law, if you catch it early. 3 moves. Move 1. Stop treating the IRS limit as a Medicaid green light. Burn that confusion out right now. Under $19,000 means nothing to a nursing home application. Before your parent gives away any real money, the question isn't, is this under the tax limit? It's, could she need long-term care within 5 years? If the honest answer is maybe, the gift needs a plan, not just a checkbook. Move 2. If gifting is part of the family's wishes, do it early and do it on advice. The penalty only reaches back 5 years. A gift made more than 5 years before she ever applies is completely clear. So the time to move money, if that's the goal, is while she's healthy and long-term care is nowhere on the horizon, not in the frightened months right before applying. And there are real legal exceptions to know. Transfers to a spouse, to a disabled child, and the caregiver child exception, where an adult child who moved in and provided care that kept a parent out of a facility can sometimes receive the home without penalty. These are narrow and specific. That's exactly why they need an attorney, not a guess. Move 3. Before anyone gives away another dollar, build one document, a simple, honest list of every large gift and transfer your parent has made in the last 5 years. Checks to the kids and grandkids, tuition paid directly, money moved between accounts, property signed over, a car handed down. You cannot protect your family from a penalty you haven't measured, and this single list is the first thing any elder law attorney will ask you for. It turns a vague fear into a solvable problem. Do those 3 things, and the gift stays what your mother meant it to be, a gift, not a bill waiting 5 years to arrive. Now the honest edges, because I'd rather you hear them from me than from a caseworker. This penalty only bites when someone applies for long-term care Medicaid, the nursing home kind, inside that 5-year window. Regular Medicaid and some home and community care programs don't always work the same way, and the rules vary by state. So don't panic undo a gift you made 6 years ago. It's already clear. And don't rip up a check out of fear without advice, because in some states returning a gift can actually cure the penalty, and in others the timing has to be handled carefully to help rather than hurt. The divisor is different in every state, and it changes every year, so the 2 months example is the shape of the math, not a promise of the exact number for your family. And the caregiver child and disabled child exceptions are real but narrow, easy to assume you qualify for when you don't. Every one of these edges is a reason for the same move. 1 hour with an elder law attorney in your parent state, before the money moves, costs far less than 6 months of care nobody planned to pay for. So come back to that kitchen table and the check with your name on it. The difference between the version where it stays a gift and the version where it becomes a bill isn't luck and it isn't love. Your mother has plenty of love. The difference is one conversation had 5 years early instead of 5 years too late. Here's your one thing for tonight. Not a lawyer, not a plan, not yet. Just this. Ask your parent one gentle question. In the last few years, have you given any big gifts or moved any money around? That's it. That's the first line of the list. And the list is where every bit of protection starts. You're not taking the gift away. You're making sure it never turns on her. Nothing about that question stops her from being generous. It just means the next gift gets given with open eyes, at a time and in a way that can't be used against her later. Your parents took care of everything once, when you were the one who needed it. If this helped you protect them back, hit subscribe. I put out a new one of these twice a week, and I'd rather you have the shield before you need it than after. And if you know another family with an aging parent who loves to help, hit like, because that's the only way this reaches them before their check clears. The gift becomes the bill only if nobody sees it coming. Now you do. Your family isn't walking into this one blind. I'll see you in the next one.